You say yes to the meeting you don't want to attend. Yes to the favor that cost you your evening. Yes to the obligation that drains you a little more each time you accept it. And somewhere, buried beneath all of those small surrenders, is the one word you never say. The word that would protect your time, your energy, your work, your family, your peace of mind. You are exhausted, not because you lack energy. You are exhausted because you have spent it all on everyone except yourself. The Stoics understood something that modern life has made us forget, that every yes you give away is a no you've quietly handed to your own future. They believed that protecting your attention was not selfish. It was the highest form of self-mastery a person could practice. Today, we examine the lost art of refusal and why the word no might be the most disciplined word in the human language. We are not born people pleasers. We are trained into it. From childhood, we learn that agreement earns affection and refusal risks rejection. So we adapt. We smile when we mean to decline. We accept when we mean to walk away. This is not weakness, it is conditioning, ancient, evolutionary, and deeply embedded. For most of human history, rejection from the tribe meant death. Saying no carried real physical risk. Your nervous system still believes this, but you are not at risk of exile for declining a meeting. You are not at risk of starvation for protecting your evening. The threat your body fears no longer exists, yet the fear remains, governing decisions it has no right to make. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the known world, understood the cost of this trap better than anyone. In his private journal, the writings we now call Meditations, he reminded himself again and again of one unforgiving truth. You could leave life right now, he wrote. Let that determine what you do and say and think. He was not being morbid. He was being precise. Life is brief, far briefer than the false urgency of other people's requests would have you believe. Every yes you give to something meaningless is a portion of that brief life handed over to someone else's agenda. Marcus called this a kind of slavery, not the obvious, visible kind, but a quieter one, the slavery of a mind that cannot say no. Nothing is so cheap, he wrote, as the entertainment we sell our soul for. Replace entertainment with obligation, with approval, with the exhausting performance of likability, and the warning lands just as hard today as it did 2,000 years ago. You do not need a master to be enslaved. You only need an inability to refuse. There is an idea central to Stoic philosophy that cuts through this entire problem with surgical precision. Epictetus called it the dichotomy of control. Some things are within your power, your judgments, your choices, your responses, your boundaries, and some things are not. Other people's demands, their expectations, their opinion of you when you decline them. Epictetus taught that suffering begins the moment we confuse the two, when we treat something outside our control as though it were our responsibility to manage. A request from a colleague is outside your control. Whether you say yes to it is entirely within your control. The anxiety you feel before declining, that too is something you can examine and eventually master. Make the best use of what is in your power, Epictetus wrote, and take the rest as it happens. This is not indifference, it is precision. The Stoic does not refuse out of coldness, he refuses out of clarity, a sharp understanding of what actually matters and what is merely noise dressed up as obligation. Every yes is a hidden no. Here is the part most people never calculate. Every time you say yes to something minor, you are silently saying no to something major. Yes to the unnecessary meeting is no to the deep work that actually moves your life forward. Yes to the guilt-driven favor is no to the rest your body desperately needs. Yes to everyone else's urgent is no to your own important. You are not just choosing what to accept, you are choosing, often unconsciously, what to abandon. Decide on purpose, or others will decide for you. The Stoics would tell you this plainly. If you do not consciously choose your priorities, someone else will choose them for you, and they will not choose what's best for your life. They will choose what's most convenient for theirs. No Stoic understood the value of time more fiercely than Seneca. In his essay on the shortness of life, he made an observation so sharp it still cuts today. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, he wrote, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. Think about that. We lock our doors. We guard our possessions. We would never let a stranger walk into our home and take what they pleased. And yet we hand our time, the one truly non-renewable resource we possess, to anyone who asks for it. A notification, a favor, a meeting that could have been an email. We protect our money more carefully than we protect our hours. You would never give away your savings. Why give away your hours? Seneca's solution was not avoidance. It was discipline. The disciplined, deliberate refusal of anything that did not serve a deeper purpose. So let's make this practical. Here are 3 Stoic-rooted frameworks for saying no, firmly, calmly, and without guilt. The first framework is the pause. Before agreeing to anything, create space between the request and your response. Even 3 seconds of silence interrupts the automatic yes. Say simply, "Let me check and get back to you." This single sentence converts a reflexive yes into a deliberate choice. The second framework is the values filter. Before responding, ask one question. Does this serve my deepest priorities, or does it merely serve someone else's convenience? If it fails this test, the answer is no, regardless of how the request is framed. The third framework is the clean decline. Most people over-explain their refusals, offering excuses that invite negotiation. The Stoic declines cleanly. "I won't be able to take that on." No elaborate justification, no apology disguised as weakness. A complete sentence, delivered calmly, requires no defense. Guilt is not evidence that you did something wrong. You may feel guilt the first time you use these frameworks. Expect it. Guilt is simply the friction of breaking an old pattern, not proof that the boundary itself was wrong. Seneca did not ask you to become cold. He asked you to become deliberate. There is a profound difference between the two. So here is your charge, beginning today. Audit your life. Look honestly at where your yeses have gone, the meetings, the favors, the obligations accepted out of fear rather than purpose. What have you said no to without realizing it? Ask yourself what those yeses have quietly cost you. Which version of your life, which relationship, which goal, which piece of your own peace have you been saying no to without ever noticing the trade? The Stoics did not pursue freedom through more options. They pursued it through ruthless selection, saying no to everything that did not serve the life they were building. This is the paradox that changes everything once you understand it. The word no is not a wall, it is a gate, one that finally lets your real priorities through. You do not need to explain your boundaries to those who only want to violate them. You only need to hold them. Marcus Aurelius did not become legendary because he said yes to everything asked of him. He became legendary because he understood with total clarity what deserved his yes and what did not. Freedom was never about having no obligations. It was always about choosing them, deliberately, ruthlessly, on your own terms. Say no to the noise. Say yes to your life.